Hello ladies, and welcome back. I hope each and every one of you have had a fantastic week. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a Q&A and answering your questions. So before we get started, I wanted to thank those of you who took the time to leave me a question. And also, thank you so much to each and every one of you who return weekly to watch my content. And if you are landing here for the first time, my name is Teresa, and this channel is all about leveling up and becoming more elegant and graceful. And if that is something you are interested in, then please consider subscribing to the channel. And also, ladies, if you enjoyed watching this video, please hit the like button, as that tells me what type of videos you guys enjoy watching. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So my first question comes from Tati C137, and I hope I am pronouncing your name correctly. But she says, I would love to see content regarding how elegant women thrive in the workplace. So this is a really great question, and I want to take it from several different avenues. And the first one is, I've worked in a number of corporate environments, and I know sometimes that the workplace can be a very difficult place to be for a woman, especially if you are trying to have class and to be elegant. So let me tell you guys a story first before I answer your question. So my last job was for a corporate financial company. And on my first day, when I walked in, of course, I was well dressed and I presented myself well. And there was this other woman that had already been there. And I could tell that when she laid eyes on me, that she and I were going to have some difficulties. The second day that I was there, she started trying to spread some gossip. Now, I'm a person that I don't like gossip, as it is well documented here on my channel. And instead of her trying to get to know me as a co-worker, she started gossiping to me about another woman that was in our office. And I politely told her, I said, you know, I'm so sorry, but these are not conversations that I would like to have in the workplace. She was shocked that I would not participate in her gossip, that I did not talk down on the other person. And when I walked into the office, I could feel the tension between the two of us. She was actually not doing her work because she was gossiping all the time. Needless to say, she and I ended up in the office in front of my boss. And I kept my cool, I kept my composure, but everything she said was lies, and she never did her work. She never completed it on time. So what I'm saying to you, Tati, is if you show up in the workplace as an elegant woman and be your authentic self, that is the only person that you should be, and keep being elegant, keep being classy, never give in to small talk, never give in to gossip. And even when you look good when you're going to work, don't worry about what other people say about you. An elegant woman always has to keep her composure. Even in the midst of conflict, you have to behave in a way that people know that you are a classy person. So we do not give in to gossip, we do not give in to hatred, and we don't give in to small talk. We sit up straight, we keep our heads high, and we keep doing the right thing no matter what. And sometimes these difficult people that we come across in our lives, they are put there for a reason. And sometimes these people are meant to teach us patience. They're meant to teach us kindness in spite of what the other person does to us. And they're also meant to teach us how to love a person that is hard to love. Continue to keep your composure, continue to be kind, and continue leveling up. The next question I received comes from Wanda. And Wanda asks, who are your fashion role models, and how has Italian style influenced you? Now, two separate questions. With regard to my fashion role models, I have about 3 or 4 women that I want to share with you ladies, and the first one is Helen Williams. So if you ladies recall the magazines Ebony and Jet magazine, Helen Williams was an exclusive model for those 2 magazines, and I always thought that she was just beautiful. She was classic. I just really loved her style. But due to discrimination that she faced in the United States, she was forced to move to France, I believe, where she went on to model for famous designers like Christian Dior. She was just a beautiful person. So Helen Williams would be the first person that comes to mind as a fashion icon. And then the next person that would be a fashion icon for me would be Barbara Smith. Now, Barbara Smith also appeared on magazines like Ebony and Essence. And I think in 1976, she became the second black model to appear on the magazine Mademoiselle. And I just loved Barbara Smith's style. I loved the way that she presented herself, the way she walked across the floor. And when you look at a woman who is well put together and they walk gracefully across the floor, they're dressed appropriately. I loved her elegant style. So she's the second person that I would think of that would be an iconic fashion role model. Now, the next person I can think of would happen to be Diahann Carroll. Now, we all know who Diahann Carroll is. Diahann Carroll played in Julia, I believe it was, and it was the first movie that chronicled the life of a black professional woman. And Diahann Carroll is elegant. I think she just looks graceful. She looks beautiful. And I would have to say that she would be the next person that I can see as one of my fashion icons. This was a really good question because I actually had to think about that, like, whose style would I like to model? And even though a lot of these women are from way back in the day, when I was a teenager and even younger than that, I used to watch these women on television, and I always thought that they were beautiful, they were elegant, and they were classy. So Diahann Carroll would be number 3, and I think the last woman that comes to mind for me as a fashion icon is Jackie Kennedy. Jackie Kennedy is the definition of elegance, the definition of high society. And I remember as a little girl watching the Kennedys on television, and I just remember how she walked with such grace and ease, and she was always so well put together. And I just love Jackie Kennedy's style. And I don't want to forget one more lady, who is Michelle Obama. So Michelle Obama is sort of my latest fashion icon. I love how she looks so graceful, so poised and elegant. Now, to answer the second part of your question, Wanda, as to how has Italian fashion influenced me, I would have to say that we have been traveling to Italy since 2015, and having landed in Italy for the very first time, I was actually mesmerized. So I started to pay attention to what they were doing. And one of the things I noticed from the Italian women was how well fitted their clothing was. It was almost as if they had the pieces tailored, which I found out later. A lot of Italian men and women do take their clothing to a tailor. And then the second thing I noticed about Italian women was minimal makeup. They look very natural, but just very beautiful. They don't add a lot of makeup on their look. They look very natural, very curated, and it just really makes them look beautiful. So I think Italian fashion is that classic look that I am drawn to, that look of elegance, that look of gracefulness. And I don't play into looks that are too colorful or looks that are too in your face. And I think the Italian and French women have done this so well. They are very minimal in the makeup, and they just dress very well. They're very classic. They know where to cover up and where to leave a little peekaboo, but nothing is overdone or nothing is underdone. So I have come to love Italian fashion for what it is. It is classic, it is elegant, and it is stylish. Now, the next question I received is from Mike, and he asked, how do you decide which colors work best for you? I am a person who loves neutrals, and I love more of a monochromatic look. I don't do total monochromatic, but I do love neutrals. I love pastels. I don't know that I actually decided that that was what worked best for me. I think it was more of what I just liked. So yeah, I think I would have to answer your question that way. And now the last question that I got comes from Allie Lay. And Allie says, I have some people in my life, both family and friends, who are extremely crass when talking about sexual activities. Do you have any advice for responding to these type of people, especially people you can't avoid, without coming off as judgmental? I would have to say that these type of things are personal, and they should remain personal. Now, I spoke about in one of my other videos that no is a complete sentence, and some conversations, especially for an elegant woman, are not appropriate. And I would think that that would include sexual activities. So some things are meant to be private. And there's nothing wrong with telling someone politely that you choose not to engage in these type of conversations. I think you need to set boundaries. And I actually may do a video on how elegant women set boundaries. But setting boundaries with people is something that you need to do if you haven't already. Sometimes people will ask you questions that are very private, and these are people that usually just want to be nosy. So start setting boundaries, because this is healthy, and it will also allow you to maintain relationships with people once they know that you have boundaries, because a lot of people like to cross boundaries. And if you don't stand up and just tell them, I am not comfortable having this conversation, then they're going to continue to cross boundaries. So I hope I'm answering your question by saying that this is a conversation that should be private, and elegant women always know how to draw the line when things should be kept private. And I think that that would clear up you having to come across as being judgmental. So those are all the questions that I have to answer for you ladies today. So if you enjoyed watching this video, please hit the like button. And also, if you are landing here for the first time, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, ladies, and I'll see you in the next one.